All right, guys, hunting two-man. I think it's probably been about a month or so since I've been here. No real game plan except let's go catch some fish. All right, I was headed that way to go fish a worm to start. And I was watching the fish finder. I'm in 13 foot right over there. It was like 6 feet. There was a hump right there. I know there's a hump in this area, but I'd never seen one like that right there, and it worth stopping. Well, maybe it wasn't worth stopping after all. All right. It's a fish, but it's not very big, but let's go back. I know where that thing's at. Hang on. I was just headed for the other side of the lake, watching the fish finder, and we was going along about 10, 12 feet of water. And the next thing I knew, all of a sudden it went to 6 with a real small hump. And now back to 13 where I'm sitting now. And I thought, you can't go past that. You got to fish that real quick. We can come back and fish it again later, but we had to do that. All right, then the only fish on the hump, huh? There we got him. With a worm, huh? Just barely felt something. Didn't feel much. Hey, that's decent fish. I didn't think that was going to be that decent, but what in the heck's going on down there? I wonder if I got a catfish, huh? Nope. Yep. Thought it felt a little odd. Let's hold still here, buddy. Get a hold of you. I don't want a bunch of spikes in me. There we go. It was just the way he was fighting. It felt a little odd there. Nice catfish, huh? I'd do that. With a plastic worm. There we go. Decent cat on a worm. He was right up next to the bank, the shade. Took him with the worm. Hang on just a second. Let me move and I'll explain this worm to you. All right, the worm I'm using, it's been a couple of years since I've used these. This is by Gulp. All right, Berkeley, Gulp. It's called the sinking minnow. Now, that's a worm, not a minnow. But here's the key about this thing. I used these a couple of years ago, and I caught catfish, bass, I caught a little bit of everything with them. They did really well. The thing I like, and I found some at Walmart the other day, and that's why I have them. If you notice, I got a weedless hook. I'm not even a weedless, weightless hook. No weight at all, because these things are heavy. They will sink. They'll sink on their own, so you really don't need any weight. I kind of like that about them. They're different than normal worms. You leave this on your hook like this when you get done fishing, you come back 2 days later, and I hate to tell you, this is gonna be hard as a rock and you'll never get it off your hook. These things will dry up. You pull one out of the package, they're slimy, they stink. You feel you gotta wash your hands after you get done baiting your hook, but they catch fish. So that's what I wanted to start with today. Now let's go see if we can find a bass. You know what? While we're working our way down the bank, we got a lot of new subscribers this year, and I'm sure a lot of you are probably saying, okay, I subscribe to Outdoors with Don and Bob, and all I ever see is one guy. What's going on? Well, Bob and I talked about this back when the COVID virus thing all started in March, and the social distancing, and we even did a video of bank fishing with our social distance, kind of made a little light of it back then, but both of us are what you'd call a high-risk group. So we said, hey, we each got boats. We'll just use our own boats for a while. Let's see what this whole thing comes down to, and that's what we did. Bob and I both have little two-man boats, and when we use those, we don't like to go to the same lake. I pick a lake, he picks a lake. Matter of fact, I believe he's at a lake about a half mile that way right now doing what I'm doing. So anyway, that's the way it started. Well, Nebraska's never been hit real hard with this. But summer came. By 1st of June, we were up in the 90s, way normal than we're supposed to be. And now Bob and I got a little bit different philosophy of how we fish. I want to get out there real early. I fish real early when it's hot. I want to get off the water mid-morning. I'm done. And Bob doesn't start that early. Don't get me wrong. He gets up as early as I do, but he's a little longer before he gets out there. So we just kind of stuck what we've been doing during the summer, during the heat. Now we're seeing a little bit of uptip in cases around Nebraska again. So I don't know what we're going to do, but usually I've got all the camera stuff. I do the filming, I do the editing. Bob's got a couple cameras, so he did one with some bluegill. He did a little something where he was bow fishing for carp, but for the most part, he doesn't do that much filming, so that's why you've only seen one of us. All right, guys, I've been working this bank behind me with a crankbait without a lot of success, but right in front of me is a little point sticks out. I fished that before. Caught some fish off it. And if I can stay out of the vegetation any way I can. So let's see if this point happens to hold a few fish out here. Let's see if it holds one fish out here. That'd be nice. There we go, found one. Ah, I had one, honest to gosh, I did. I hate it when they jump. I know it's love, it's great, it's neat, but man, I tell you, tough to keep them on when they get out of the water. All right, I'm trying to stay right here on the edge of this hump. Right now I'm 9 feet of water and I know it's about 2 feet over there. So I put on a chatterbait to see if that would work. Get me around here through the vegetation. I can't get a crankbait through it, but I can get a chatterbait through it. And guess what? The chatterbait works. Can't get a crankbait through that weeds, but you can get a chatterbait through it. Nice fish. All right. One's chatterbait, one I made myself. Let's get back out and see if we can find some more. All right, guys, well, I'm changing things around. I just keep changing lures depending where I'm at. A pretty deep bank right here. And I put on the DT6 style because the water's pretty deep right in here. And there we go. That is the first cast with that lure. Hold still, buddy. There, we got you. There, I got you. We'll get that out. There we go. All right, not too bad. Turn us around a little bit here, huh? So you ain't staring into the sun. Oh, there we go. And DT6 in a bluegill pattern I painted a while back. All right. You know, I'm just changing. I'm throwing something for a little bit and I'm changing it again. And I'm going to throw something, I'm going to change it. I came into this bank, it's 15, if you're 15 feet away, you're in 14 feet of water. So I decided let's go something a little bit deeper on a crankbait. And I'm just changing it up. I don't even know if it's in the right spot or not. There was a little tiny hump right there. And I did find it. Little bitty fish, but let's get him off and get back out there again. I think I know where it's at. I was just going along, 14 feet of water. All of a sudden it went to about 11 and it was a little tiny hump, not very big. There we go. Very little. It's right out there is where it's at. And I'm now sitting in 15 feet of water. So I stopped the boat real quick. Turn it around and I thought, can I hit that thing? It's so little. I don't know if I can hit it or not. But maybe I did. There we go. Found it on that hump. Yep, found one on the hump out here. That's another catfish. What were you doing way out here on that hump, huh? You got everything all wrapped around. Catfish do that though, don't they? Give it up. There we go. Not as big as the first one. Well, that first one we caught in about 6 inches of water. That one was in about 9 feet of water. Off that hump. Maybe I should just fish for catfish today. All right, guys. First thing this morning, I was coming across here with the boat. I saw that little hump real quick. I didn't know it was there. Turned around, we caught that little bitty fish. We are back. Sitting 13 feet of water right over there. It's about 6, 7 feet. That's where that hump is. Now let's see if we can find a bigger one. Tell you what, we've been running humps all day. Found another little one. All right, found another little one on that hump. There's got to be a big one there somewhere. We'll go back. We'll find a big one. Hang on. There we go. Oh, shoots. Right off that hump. Another catfish. Whatever it is, it's decent sized. Nope, big bass. Big bass. Oh man. There we go, buddy. Woo. Just barely had him too. Let's see what we got here, huh? I've humped and humped and humped these humps all day. And it finally paid off. .4. Well, there you go, guys. We worked and worked and worked humps all day. Finally paid off. Thank you, girl. 4.4, 19 inches long. Well, guys, you know what? Not a bad day. What's really kind of funny is I found 2 new humps that I didn't know existed. In both cases, I was going over and turned real quick, threw a cast out, caught a fish. Fortunately, the very first hump that caught the little fish found us a big fish at the very end. And catfish. I'll tell you what, on a plastic worm, on a crankbait, 9 inches of water, 9 feet of water. Not a lot of pattern to that, is there? They're just all over the place. But the humps paid off. I found them on the humps again. Deeper banks, crankbait was most of it. Tomorrow, I'm going right over there. About a quarter mile, well, not even that, 1/8 of a mile away, I'm going to cross the road to another small lake on the other side. We're going to try that one again. Hey, thanks for sticking with me. Subscribe to the channel if you would. Hope to see you again real soon.